We've come down to the bottom new piece just out from the Kingfisher Hide, and in the next few weeks this area of the reserve will be absolutely filled with thousands of wintering birds. But at present it's a hive of activity for our volunteers and our staff as we get the site ready for those winter arrivals. Whilst late summer and early autumn are a great time for our waders to arrive and pass through the reserve, the rest of the autumn then sees our waterfowl start to turn up, particularly our duck. Things like pintail, teal and widgeon, their numbers are gradually building across the reserve, and mid-October saw the first white-fronted geese arrive here on the tack piece too. And over the last few weeks we've also been tracking our Buick swans who have those satellite tags as they migrate down from Russia back here to Europe and potentially here to Slimbridge as well. But before most of those wintering birds start to arrive, we've got lots and lots of work to do across the reserve to get the site ready for them. Out behind us here on the bottom new piece, we've got contractors working with us, helping us repair fences and improve access for livestock next year so we can make sure areas like this are grazed to perfection. Our volunteers are also a massive part of what we do here at WWT, and not least on the reserve team. So you'll have no doubt seen them helping us out, clearing areas of vegetation to maintain the views from our hides, open up those flyways for the birds as they move between the fields, but also maintain the botanical interest of some of our grassy areas too. The work we're doing is an essential part of the management here at the reserve, and if we didn't undertake these tasks, we wouldn't have the sheer diversity and number of species that we have here on the site. So whilst there's going to be the unfortunate little bit of disturbance, we try and target them in condensed areas so there's still loads and loads of birds for you to come and see from the rest of the hides across the reserve. So as the winter starts to develop, those birds start to arrive and we see tens of thousands of them here at Slimbridge. Come down and see what you can see. Maybe our white-fronted geese, our Buick swans, and soon hopefully flocks of lapwing, golden plover and widgeon as well.
We've come up to the gosling field today to spend a little bit of time talking about the value and interest of our identification rings. During October every year we catch the majority of our goose species to give them an annual health check. It's a great opportunity to check these identification rings and apply some new ones. Ringing birds for ID purposes is a century-old practice. They used to be called darviks due to the material they were made of. Today, we call them plastic moulded rings, and they come in a fantastic array of sizes and colours, and we use them for great effect, both for identifying pairs during the breeding season and also adopted birds for part of our adoption projects. The rings we've been applying today, however, are to some of our beloved nenays. We tend to choose white with black writing for these birds. It's this time of year that the nenays are going to come together and start forming their pair bonds for the future. These darviks will allow us to work out who's in love with who and make sure that we look after them as a pair from now on. This spring, one of our most beloved adopted birds, BBC, successfully hatched with his partner 2 goslings and reared them to adulthood for the first time in their lives. It's been absolutely wonderful to watch these birds grow. I can reveal that they had a male and a female, and we will one day darvik those lovely babies and they will join in with all the other nenays as part of our flock here at Slimbridge. The next time you come to Slimbridge and buy your bag of grain, why don't you head out into the grounds and seek out our nenays and see who's partnered with who. They're going to be forming territories all through the winter, and they might even lay an egg as early as the 1st of February. So why don't you come out and have a look for yourselves?
Hello there, and you join us behind the scenes at Mammal HQ in the small mammal room, and we're talking about the harvest mice today. And for the winter, they don't hibernate, they're far too small, they wouldn't be able to get enough resources to make it through the whole day. So their cousin, the dormice, do hibernate, but these have to make it through those winter months. And obviously if you're this big, there's lots of other animals trying to make a meal out of you as well. But what the harvest mice will do is eat up as much as they can with the hawthorn berries, the other berries, the blackberries, and what's left of the autumnal excess, and then they'll have to get fresh food every day. They'll also huddle together like wrens or blue tits and share body heat. And obviously, if you're a metre up into the reed beds, in the reeds, it might get a bit blowy, might get a bit damp. So they actually go to ground, quite literally, go down to the floor and find the dry spots down there and make little nests with plenty of leaves and moss and things to keep them warm for a bit of isolation. But as I say, when you're this big, the world's against you, so it's a tough old world out there in the winter months. If you're worried about our mice on show, don't worry too much because in the back from the viewing gallery they'll have plenty of fresh food, plenty of fresh bedding to keep themselves warm, and if it gets too chilly we'll actually put the heat lamps on just to keep the chill off. So why not come and see us down here at Slimbridge.